Well, today I want to share three scriptures with you. I'm going to just read three verses. And at first you might say, well, what does one have to do with the other one? And give me a second, obviously, and I'll show you what I mean and where I'm going with this. The first one is from Psalm 84, verse 7, and it goes like this. They go from strength to strength, each one appears before God in Zion. Psalm 84, 7. The second is in Romans 1:17, and it reads like this. For in it the righteousness of God is revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. And then the third one is in 2 Corinthians 3:18. And it says, But we all with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of the Lord. Now, each one of those passages has a context, and we could go into some detail in each one of them and expound on them. But I'm just trying to point out one thing. Notice these phrases: strength to strength, faith to faith, and glory to glory. Now, when you hear those phrases, they imply change and growth and victory and faith and all these sorts of things. It's just a very victorious kind of sound in each one of these passages. We go from glory to glory. We go from faith to faith. We go from strength to strength. I like that. And I think you do too, right? We all like to think about our lives that way. But the reality of our lives is usually something a little bit different than that. Many years ago, I heard a great sermon by a pastor. Actually, the pastor's name was Joe Garlington. And at the time, many years ago, he was pastor of a large church in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he called this message, Living in the Two. Living in the Two, T-O. And the point is, again, listen to these phrases: glory to glory, faith to faith, strength to strength. When we say those words, when we say those phrases, you barely even hear the word to in there, right? It hardly even registers a sound. But the reality of our lives is this: we live the vast majority of our lives in the two. And I think, as I recall, when Pastor Garlington was sharing this message, he said something like this: it's not glory to glory, it's glory to glory. And he walked across from one side of the stage to the other as he said that. And he just was, again, re-emphasizing that point that we live in the two. That's the majority of our life. The vast majority of our life is grinding it out. It's the day-to-day process. Sometimes the glory to glory seems more like gory to gory in our lives. But that's the way it is. We are living in the two. We're living in that process. Look at it this way. It's kind of like, when you don't see a child every day. Maybe it's a grandchild or someone else that lives across the country, and you may only see them once a year or maybe even less than that. And you haven't seen this child for a long, long time, and all of a sudden you see them and you're like, oh my goodness, you have grown so much in your, you shot up like a weed. You've gotten so big, you've matured, you look so much older because you don't see them every day. Hopefully, it should be that way in our Christian life as well. We don't maybe necessarily see the change in our lives every single day, but it's happening. Slowly, incrementally, it's happening as we seek to be obedient to Him, to spend time in His presence, to faithfully walk with the Lord. When we do that, we will be changed. From glory to glory, from faith to faith, from strength to strength. But most of the time, it happens in small, incremental measures. So stay faithful. Keep your hand to the plow. God is up to something. He's at work in your life. Amen? Amen. God bless.